I like Superman and all, but this is how I picture him. Just wanted to point that out. Nothing personal, bro. You like how I just changed clothes and I have a new notepad? Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be about the boy in blue. If you say something about the yellow in the background, I'm gonna tell you right now. There's no yellow there because I'm really cheap and I only have 2 colors in markers. I have more black than anything. I like black. It's not just because it's the color of my skin or because it's something that Batman wears. I'm just simply saying I have no like black. So I have black, red, and blue. Be happy. So let me talk about the things that I saw that people were complaining about in regards to Superman. They were complaining once again, Superman is promoting violence. And I'm like, again, he's not promoting violence. He's inhuman. And then I saw someone saying Henry's performance of Superman was too inhuman. He's an alien. Of course he's inhuman. He's not from here. What the hell? Did you not read everything? Come on, man. That was stupid. Like, oh, he's not supposed to be. He only comprehends the people who are near him. That is the whole point. Once again, which I'm pretty sure I just mentioned like freaking 2 seconds ago, he's inhuman. I actually liked Henry's performance. I thought the way he did, the fact that he came off so I'm not from here was a little unsettling. It was almost like, ooh, it gave you shivers, you know, like Mufasa. Say it again, like that's what it felt like, you know. And it's kind of like, come on, bro, be real about this. Don't be stupid. The other things that I was seeing in regards to complaints about a Superman, they felt like Superman was too dark. I get it, he's the boy in blue, he's always good. But if you play it off realistically, he's not really from here. He's never had that human mindset. I'm not saying that, you know, because he's alien, he won't understand anything. It's not that. You have a different perspective of things. Like if you look back in history in regards to Westerners traveling to other countries, these people may have not been doing something, maybe they were, it does not matter. But the point is, that means that their minds, their perspective of things, how they perceive who they called savages, the Native Americans, who, by the way, we belong here, they perceived them differently. They treated them differently because they were like, you are not of the same stuff I am. And obviously that is something Clark is very much aware of. The other big difference between the two of them, because everyone thought it was supposed to be like the epic fight, that's what nerds really want to see. It's not about that. Now, in regards to when you compare it to Batman, right? Batman has to become Bruce Wayne. That's what he has to do. He has to pretend he hasn't lost his marbles. That's what he has to pretend, which is pretty much what most people do, especially when they've been through a lot of crap. It takes a lot to not just snap. Now, when you look over at Clark, you know, you got Kal-El over here. He's trying to pretend that he's human. So the best way that he can do is by mimicking us as well as he possibly can. But even to that certain point, he understands and he comprehends it, and you see it in his performance. He understands, I am actually above you people. And you see it in his performance. And I thought he did an excellent job of it. I thought that portrayal of Superman was pretty on point. Because if you look at it, when humans mistreat animals because they perceive them as less than them, they don't pay attention to the collateral damage about that either. To me, it seemed relatable. To me, it made sense. I know I'm seeing much calmer now because it's Superman. It's not that I'm hating on Superman. It's just me and Batman are obviously in love. Ben just doesn't know it. I also do have to give them props also for his suit, which I thought was amazing. Both suits were awesome, including the robotic form of Batman. I thought all 3 suits were amazing. I just kind of felt bad for Henry because there's a scene where he's walking in the courtroom and you could tell that suit is mad tight. And he's like, like you can see it, like he's trying to do his heroic posing, but as an actress, I'm just like, the suit was too tight, wasn't it? Like I can recognize that. But now in regards to keeping the elements of Superman, they show that he does have the capability of learning that there are consequences to his actions. Even though he's being set up, that does not matter. The point is, he understands that there are consequences to his actions. So in the sense as Batman going as dark as he does, and Robin keeping him light, and Alfred keeping him light, the thing that keeps Superman from going over the edge is Lois. That's his whole thing. Lois and Martha. Now the others, and of course his dad, which, you know, Kevin Costner, great to see you, by the way. But the thing is that that's what made it so good, because even though, you know, Henry's not running around like, I'm gonna kill everything, like, he's not doing that or anything like that, but he does have a darker element to him, not because he's trying to be evil. The point is that he just goes, I'm actually above all of you idiots. I mean, and if you want to make it more simpler than that, has an intelligent person ever been in a room full of idiots? Yeah, it's that moment. That's who he is. Just, you people are idiots. Like, and he could probably figure out the world's problems and solve them all with Batman's help, obviously. But you know, that's the whole thing. Okay, now I'm sorry. I'm having a coughing fit for like my last 8 videos. But one of the things that people have to take a look at in regards to Superman is the reason why he's so morally driven in his own way is because he was raised by human parents. That's what changes everything for him. He understands certain things to a limit. So if he sees someone terrorizing the planet, he goes, okay, I save people, but like a child trying too hard or doing too much, they hurt and damage everything around them. Have you ever seen a child throw a fit? I mean, come on, they knock everything over, like, like, you're like, what's, honey, what's wrong? Okay, come, bring it down, and that's pretty much what it is. Now, the other issue, is what I'm talking about, like, and Superman just decides he doesn't like Batman. That is not the problem. In fact, the very issue is the fact that Batman and Superman are perceiving each other exactly the same. You are reckless and you are not taking care of the city the way it should be. You are not representing the citizens properly. You are not being a real hero. In fact, if you really look at it carefully, they're both being very arrogant and looking at the other one like, you're doing it wrong. You know, especially when Superman tells him flat out, like, I let you live. Don't forget about that, okay? So you need to stop being a superhero right now. Okay, damn it. I told you not to be a superhero. Okay, and next time it won't be Mercy. Bye. Is that a beef fight or what? Like, you know, like, come on. Like, that was so, like, girl, like, I am not doing this anymore if you're gonna keep doing, like, you know, and it's funny because, you know, Batman's response is, do you bleed? Huh? I'm sure you do. I'll find a way. Like, he's so set on it. You know, you don't have a beef fight with Batman. You just don't. You know, but I thought that was really, really cool, how the fact that they show the elements of the relationship actually developing, even to the point where you actually understand the point of the movie, why the two of them are fighting. Once you comprehend the point of the movie, then all this starts to make sense to you. You're like, this is how their relationship really began. I do know that a lot of fans were complaining, like, that's not how it happened in the comic books, but they do have a lot of information in the film, and that's one of the issues. There's so much information. I do admit that the movie does seem like it's almost like, whoa, that's a lot of information. But it's not like it's the worst film in history. So I'd appreciate if all the media would stop saying, Hollywood's biggest failures. Really? Really? That's Hollywood's biggest failures? I'll give yourself a moment. But yeah, I mean, you have to really look at it from the psychology point, which is what I think. It's really a psychological comic book film. That's really what it is. And it's more of a film meant for the fans. If you're your everyday average moviegoer, it may not be for you. Because this is a film that's more made for the fans, much like Deadpool. You know, I'm not comparing the two. Deadpool and this movie, they're nothing alike. However, both movies were made with the interest of the fans for once. I mean, we go to the movies all the time, and I read that some dude had the balls to actually say Batman only had like 100,000 fans. Like, how many of them actually purchased? Have you ever been to Comic-Con? We travel to go to, like, Dragon Con. We travel. We love everything that... This is an actual mythology, okay? The same way people used to worship, like, oh, and they go, oh, those many gods don't exist, but this was a great mythology. They're Roman gods, and the way they list them, that is pretty much what these are. They're idols. We're not worshiping them, but they do represent something for us. So do not say that it's just 100,000 people. If I find you. One of the other things that some other person pointed out was the fact that Superman goes overboard with his violence, and they're like, they can't tell the difference between the dream sequence and this. I don't see why you couldn't. To me, personally, I didn't have an issue with it. I found it very easy to tell apart the dream sequence from the reality, probably because I know the two of them would never kill anyone. To me, that just seemed obvious, like something's very wrong. The fact that Superman is very comfortable with them bowing down before him, that is perfectly normal. For me, I just knew immediately like that, okay, obviously something's up. But yeah, that's my riff in regards to Superman. And now for our next presentation. Gotta keep this off. Did you guys hear the music? You guys like my undies? Yeah, I know it's sexy, right? Wait, check on the back. Don't be hating. Of course, you can tell what this is about. If you guys didn't get the spin, you might be too young, but that's okay. Wonder Woman. Okay, when the movie was about to come out, there were like so many complaints. Oh, she's not doing like an Amazon. I admit I was a little concerned too, but only because from what I have seen, she looked small. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be a superhero. But I thought she was like my size, tiny, like, ha! Like, that's what I perceived. But once I saw the film, I was like, no, she's big. She's big enough. I thought they made her pretty realistic. I like the fact that, in a sense, everyone's kind of aware of each other already. Like, when Superman discovers who Batman is, it's not because of anything major. It's just because he happens to be there, like, what you up to? Like, you know, if you had super hearing, you'd eavesdrop and listen on everyone's conversation. Don't lie. Okay, you would. But yeah, I thought Gal did a great job. I think she represented Wonder Woman extremely well. I was very, very happy with how she was. I felt like she had her essence. You know, she's watching, you see the entire storyline where she's like, I'm not watching, I'm not paying attention, I'm just trying to get on a plane. Because I'm normal. Like, she's trying to do her normal thing up until the point she realizes, I gotta get out there. That's when she realizes, and she gets her gear. She just walks right off the plane and like, Miss Prince, where are you going? She's like, I got to take care of. Like, she's out, and she immediately just shows up to where the trouble is. Because obviously she's done it before. They also show the introduction to her when they show her with the previous team. I think it was supposed to be like back when she was, you know, in World War I, but I guess they wanted to make her like a little older and stuff like that. So I guess that's how they wanted to do it. You know, before she meets her honey bunny Steve. But I think they wanted to make her seem older, and that's why she wanted that particular picture. But yeah, it just seemed like, you know, that was a great introduction to her, and you see who she is, because she wants the picture. She doesn't want anyone knowing who the heck she is, because she kind of just wants to disappear into the background. Nobody sees me. You know, but obviously she's never going to. I also like the fight scene. I think that classic scene where she jumps and she leaps was fantastic. I also love the fact that she was a better fighter than the two of them put together. Are you kidding me? First of all, that's just one point. But the second point is the fact that she's military. That's what she is. That's who she is. She's trained her entire life. They didn't have her play the, oh no, I have a vagina, I messed something up, I'm cute. Like, they didn't throw that crap in there. And thank God they didn't, because I would have been pissed off. Just saying, as a female and as a Wonder Woman fan, I mean, my mom's not into comic books, but even she watched Wonder Woman. Okay, like, come on. You cannot mess that up. I thought that was fantastic. I like the fact that you see Superman, he's struggling. Okay, Batman's like, okay, I'm trying to get a good shot. Think I got it. I think I could beat that shot. Hold on, I got this. Like, you see the moments of these two struggling, and your homegirl shows up like, boys, I got this. And she just shows up, and she's cutting off a leg, she's cutting off the arm. Even if the guy is like growing it again, that doesn't stop her. Not even the slightest bit. She's like, oh, that's just more limbs for me to cut. Like, especially when he hits her back and she actually hits the floor, because the fact that he hits her a few times and she stands her ground a couple of times, and she's like, oh, you got a little power. Ah! And she just goes back in like nothing. But when he finally gets her on the floor, she's just like, oh. You see that Bruce Lee break out of her, and she's like, I'm taking you on, let's go, MF! Like, she gets into it. And you have to love that about the film. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do for the actual movie. I'm actually excited. Some people were complaining like, they didn't use Wonder Woman enough. The movie's not about her. The movie's about how these two end up coming together, which eventually starts to create justice. There's a big picture behind it all. It wasn't about Wonder Woman. It was about the introduction of Wonder Woman. And speaking of introductions, I also read where somebody was saying all the introductions were terrible except for Aquaman. First of all, Aquaman had the worst introduction. This is how I pictured Aquaman. Like, that's exactly what Aquaman looked like. I was looking for Barnacle Boy right afterwards. I really was. It was like, that's your representation of Aquaman? You couldn't give me more than that? Come on, I interviewed the voice actor who did the freaking film. You can do better than that. Come on, guys. And then, like, you see Cyborg, right? And the guys complain, like, oh, Cyborg had a terrible introduction. No, he didn't. It explained exactly. In fact, you don't even have to explain anything else afterwards, because as long as you see this movie, you see pretty much what happens. Daddy's doing the experiments. Daddy's trying to fix him. And then you hear the, and then he cuts the camera, click. Like that. Okay? You get the idea of Cyborg. Now, the only thing I was a little upset about is that they didn't show how the rest of his body looked. Man. Just saying, you could have let me see him. I also think the introduction of the Flash was fantastic. Great tips of the hat to the Crisis. I mean, I think that was fantastic. I'm pretty sure, like, if you're not familiar with everything, you might be like, how did the Flash get there? Quantum Leap ain't got nothing on the Flash. I'm just simply saying, it was a good introduction. I think some people are a little confused on, like, well, what about this? I think it's probably Wally. It makes sense. He would be the younger version. I also did see the hint at Green Lantern, which is fantastic. As long as they do not move Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool, you better not move him. I know I got mad serious, but I'm serious. I like him as Deadpool. Do not put him as Green Lantern. Do not. He's not a Hal. That's okay. Just saying. I thought their character introductions were great, and it also made sense how they would introduce them because of the one major fact. Batman realizes some crap's coming. You know, and it's because the Flash knows that he has to visit Batman. I mean, who else are you going to visit? He's the one person that knows how to take them all out in case if they ever turn Darkseid. Just saying, you'd have to only go to Batman. Nah, I don't seem a little biased, that's fine. The other thing that I want to talk about is people complaining about the Lex Luthor. They're like, how come he seems to know who they are? That is Alex, not the Lex. It's Daddy. In fact, he says, Daddy was the big Lex, the big L in Lex. Like, he makes it obvious. Lex, obviously, would know who they are. If you were a kid growing up, you know all the crazy crap your parents do. You're like, you know all the stuff your parents love. You know all the things your parents hate. You pick these things up, don't you? I'm just trying to make it realistic. That's all I'm saying. You know, and then I also read where somebody was saying, you know, Jesse made it work as much as he could because, I mean, his character was just doing incoherent, random ramblings for no reason. I mean, but so does Trump, but you see people still freaking supporting him. I mean, I don't see what the big blow up is. I mean, stop freaking complaining. Are you kidding me? Come on. The whole point of everything that he says has a purpose. Like when he says power is innocent, the whole point of saying power is innocent is because sometimes when you have so much, you kind of don't know what to do with it. Absolute power corrupts you. And that's the whole point. A lot of these things that people, that's a one-liner and it's dumb. Obviously what he says is that these are words too big for your little mind. Might have had a little too much truth to it. But yeah, his performance was amazing. Henry's performance, everyone did a fantastic job. You know, and I like the fact that Lex, like his father, would have orchestrated the entire thing the same exact way Joker would have. Joker would have orchestrated the entire, got it. It's not that the villains don't know who the superheroes are. They know that the superheroes have something to protect. And what better way to get at someone who constantly won't let you play is to get back at them by threatening the very thing that they're trying to protect, which is their identity, people that they love, the city, random citizens, or even their sidekicks. Take a crowbar to them. That's the whole thing. And that's the whole point of these villains. They actually know their superheroes much better than the world will ever know. I also want to give them props for the Grodd t-shirt. I was in the theater like, like I got all excited. I was like, Grodd, 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 Grodd. Like I got really excited because I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to put the whole villains together and make a whole team. No, was that too much? Whatever. But the point is, I think he did a fantastic job. To me, he came off very realistic. He's the problem with Lex and Alex. The whole point is that they're too freaking smart. That's what happens to smart people. They go crazy and they go insane because they're surrounded by a bunch of dumb people. So they decide, I know how to fix this world. If everyone would just freaking listen to me, we could solve the world's problems. It sounds great. This is perfect. If everyone would just bow down and listen, we won't have any more problems. It'll be perfect. It'll be simple. We just need one person to lead them. That's where the line gets crossed. You know, but generally that's what the issue is. His superpower is being freaking smart. I also like the fact that stupid cough. The fact that Mercy was in there. They kind of like show she's important, but if you didn't know who she was, you're like, who is that chick? They show her there. I also like the fact that Lex will make you eat your words. No offense to the Kentuckian. She's sitting there in that interview, and she's sitting there like, so we have brought you, and you see she's like sweating bullets and stuff, and then she turns the cop at that very moment. Could you imagine that being your last moment on Earth? Lex getting the best of you? Yo, that's messed up. That's messed up. But he did a great freaking job. And I like the fact that at the very end, you see him becoming his father. They shave his hair. They do the whole thing. And he's pushing on the edge like, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I'm locked in here. It doesn't matter because he prepared for this, obviously, that something else is in the works. Like a Luther should. I'm just simply saying. But yeah, I think the film was a lot of fun. If you're a fan of the comics and even if you didn't read the comics and you only watch the TV shows or the cartoons, it doesn't matter. If you're just jumping into Batman or Superman now, it's a fun film. It's fantastic. But if you're a casual moviegoer, it may not be for you. But the point is, it's still a fun film. It's not terrible like some people are trying to make it seem. And I do think it's a little odd that all the media publications are like, boo! And I'm like, what's your problem? Come on now. Y'all like that, right? Come on, admit it. You like it. You like it. You like it. But the thing about it, the movie's a lot of fun. You know, the other thing that I wanted to point out when in regards to Lex Luthor, it's the fact that to the guy who's complaining, like, how does he know who they are? Lex has been watching them all of them. So that means any hero that's out there, he's watched them. He's been collecting data. Why? Because he needs to take them out. For the very same reason why Batman originally wanted to take out Superman. Think about it. But yeah, it's a great film. It's a lot of fun. Take your friends. You know, it's a lot of fun. And don't try to ever compare DC to Marvel. I love both. Okay? If you don't think so, then you can take a look over here. Yeah, that's me. Doing Deadpool. Yeah. Me! So, I love them both. But there is one comic book company that I do tend to love a little more. That's why you always see it in my background. AHR Visions. Think you guys will like the stuff that we have coming up this year. I'll have a special episode dedicated to just AHR Visions very soon. But in case if you're a little curious, look them up. Look this up, yo. Google it. Be like A as in apple, H as in Harry, R as in Robert. Visions. But it's really Abdul. It's actually Abdul something Rashid. I'm so sorry, boss, that I don't know your full name. But it's AHR Visions, which is pretty much what it is. That includes Scorn, okay, Spanish superhero, Kali Shia, then we have, which is Kali, like, you know, Kali, and then Shia, because she's a woman, and then we have Pepe. If you have been watching my previous interviews with my loving behalf from San Diego, Bianca, that's Pepe Lynn for Federal. And this is me again, and this is also Bleach 2039. We have a lot of books coming out, by the way. I thought this being a great sneaky way to like throw in my boss. But it's okay though. You guys will all know who we are soon. Thanks for watching.